what's happening here? His shoulder, his bottom of the shoulder is rotating in. Okay. Now, anatomically, this is the anatomical position. You know that? If you talk about anatomy books, that's the anatomical position. Now, he's rotated here. Now, you have what's called a proximal and distal radial ulnar joint. So you have two bones going along your forearm. Both of them can rotate. Alright? So your bicep also does supination and pronation. Does supination, doesn't do pronation. So what happens is you have one bone here, radius and ulnar going down. You have a rotation from here and a rotation from here. Okay? In other words, it's supination and pronation. But it's still rotation to the joint. So when someone's rotated here, they tend to rotate from here and from here. Okay? Turn around. If he was to externally rotate, so what I want you to do is imagine you're hitchhiking. Okay, so put your thumb out like that. Now rotate the whole thing. Okay, now see what happens? He rotated from the wrist, the elbow, the shoulder, retracting and depressing the scapula. So for me to improve Barry's posture, do you think I'm going to go external rotation on the shoulder? I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to do supination of the forearm. Okay, I'm going to do external rotation of the shoulder, and I'm also going to do retraction, depression of the scapula. Because if I don't address all those links, there's going to be an issue.
Would you work from out in and you start wrist first?
But generally what I do is I'll do the shoulder because that fatigues quite early. The elbow and the wrist tends to have more repetitions. We do that towards the very end. So my whole point is, if Barry just does that, okay, or rotates the shoulders, it's the whole joint together. So if somebody is in this, the message is coming down the arm. If he's intended rotated, we need to look at here, we need to look at here. So we look at the bicep as a supinator, we look at releasing the pronator teres if that's an issue, and then we do supination work to get the supinator strong in the forearm so we can pull it back, retract and everything together. So my point is, if you just look at this, we're not going to get there. Now, the problem is, if we just address this, we're not going to fix it. We need to address the elbow and the wrist and the C-spine. The C-spine is their boss. If the C-spine or the cervical spine hasn't got the right neural drive out to the muscle, you're going to get nowhere. Literally nowhere. So the kink in the chain you want to correct. So, what I'm going to tell Barry to do is, chest up tall, push the back of your head into my hand. Now, even when he does that, he does that. Okay, so watch me, Barry. I want you to do that there. Okay? So, you turn on, so you can see. So what you ask someone is the sternum. Now why do you ask them to lift their sternum? Do you know?
Just a back.
Okay. What happens is the most problematic the most problematic spinal section is your thoracic spine. If your thoracic spine isn't in a good position, everything up. Okay? Excuse my friend, it messes everything up. Your thoracic spine is the only aspect of your spine that has insertions from your ribs. Alright? So put your arm up, Barry. All his ribs come around and insert right into the demifascists of the thoracic spine. So when you ask him to lift this up, he's lifting his whole thoracic cage rather than lifting his head back. So he lifts this up, he puts the thoracic spine in a better position, and then he extends his head. Now he pushes his head back, he doesn't extend his neck. So chest tall and push back into me. Okay, that's a much better position for his neck now. So if you see him from the side, that's a much better position for his spine to be in. Now, the reason why I asked him to do that is the fact that if he can go to that range of motion, it means that he's no real main restrictions. It's muscular imbalance that's keeping him in that position. So if someone goes, I'm trying, I can't do it, what are you thinking? Soft tissue problem, neurological problem, send them on. Alright? So over here is my toolbox. Alright? What about